Hello people, welcome back. After the last build, the Guardian farm, that was a rather creative build, I thought it's time for something new, more technical. So I built this mob farm. And I think it's time I give you a quick overview of what exactly I did. So let's take a look. So you have seen it's a pure technical build. There's nothing really decorative on it, and I built it in the middle of the ocean with an AFK platform right on top of it. So no, I didn't have to do any caving or anything. Really basic. So I would say we go down, take a look on the farm. From down there. Here we are. Here are the splash pads, so to say. Currently we are down here loading many caves, and therefore the rates are a lot lower than what you saw in the video. The AFK area is supposed to be up there where we started the video. And down here is only the splash pad with hoppers underneath that all feed into this dropper here, and under this block there's a comparator that turns this rapid pulsing clock on and off always when items are in the dropper, because once this farm is running on full speed, each pad produces more loot per second than a hopper can transport away, so we have to use droppers and water currents in the storage area. And this little guy here is first of all for trading all the rotten flesh that we get from this farm, and also function as bait for any feather falling mobs or chicken jockeys. They just walk in here and fall into the lava and simply die. That over there, you might recognize it, is Spruce Tree Farm, wither powered, and that's the reason why this farm is actually here. So we have constant support of supply of bone meal for the tree farm, and it does a decent enough job, I would say. Down here in the storage room you can see I took some bones already, but there's still first indicator light on. Arrows no one really wants or needs and gunpowder has already been taking a few stacks or chests already. Witch drops are of course still rare and not really efficient. Even with 25,000 drops per hour you get like 4 stacks of redstone in the time you get one double chest of gunpowder, for example. So it's ratio is really off and not in favor of witch drops. Okay, I think that's all for the shoring part, and I'm now going to go into my test world and show you how to build such a mob farm, or at least one module, so you could potentially recreate it if you want to later. Okay, we're going to start with the spawning pad itself. It is a 2 by 10 area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you can use any block you want. I'm going to use in this case packed ice because I have the resources, and it makes it a bit more easy for the monster to fall off into the drop chute. But you can potentially use any full block you want to, because you're going to install a tripwire activated clock that continuously pushes the monster off the pad. So take yourself a full block, go behind and below the spawning pad and go 1 row all the way down and place a repeater facing into the spawning pad on each block. Then take a slab. It's important to use a slab, otherwise you will have problems with butt powering pistons if you stack this on top of each other. So take yourself slabs behind each repeater and redstone dust on all of these blocks. Alright. Then on the edge here, take a full block, go 1 up and 2 out, and dust on each of these. Now, time for the pistons. On top of the redstone dust, place a row of sticky pistons, and on top of the repeaters and in front of the sticky pistons, place a row of normal pistons. Alright. Then take your blocks again. From the spawning pad go 2 blocks out and 2 blocks up and place 2 blocks right there. Get yourself some tripwire hooks and place the right there and redstone dust on top. The same is mirrored on the other side. 2 blocks out, 2 blocks up, 2 blocks right, tripwire hook on each, and redstone, no redstone dust. Alright, so then take a full block, place it right behind each sticky piston, and place redstone dust on top of it. Okay, now for the clock mechanism. Take yourself again half slabs. You can use full blocks, but half slabs will increase your spawning rates. So place a half slab right adjacent and 1 block below the tripwire hook block. A full block on this dust and a slab connecting to the row of block with dust here, and go all the way around. Place a full block here and take yourself a comparator. Place the comparator facing this block here, coming from the tripwire hook. So set it on subtraction mode. Place a redstone dust directly behind this block and the redstone dust directly adjacent to the hopper, to the comparator. A repeater on full delay facing into this dust, a repeater on a 3 delay facing to this redstone dust line here, a full block here, and you can kill this half slab then. And if you now take yourself some string and connect this tripwire hooks with all the string over, you have yourself already, not quite yet. You of course have to place both rows of tripwires, or you have this blocked out pistons here. Now it's working with 2 rows of string, and you have yourself also a clock that continuously pushes the pistons in case a mob is stuck on the edge or a spider is trying to fight the farm. Alright, so now to make this a bit more spawn proofed and so that you can also stack it upwards, I would suggest placing a row of blocks right on top of this one. That prevents spiders from climbing into this area here. Take yourself a row of full blocks, place it adjacent to this redstone dust here, directly underneath this line that holds the dust for the sticky pistons, and place the row all the way down here. This prevents spiders from spawning on this redstone dust block. If the block would not be here, they could spawn here and would take up valuable spawn spaces and reduce the efficiency of the farm. Alright, and that's one part of the module really. You can now simply go and mirror this on the other side. Right here, all the way down to this block here. I would suggest leaving a 3 wide gap here, otherwise you will have problems with spiders. Spiders are too wide, and if it's only a 2 wide gap, they tend to fall onto other spawning pads and mess with the tripwire, and simply it's not a smooth fall all the way down. So a 3 wide gap, and then you mirror this design that we have here on this side. Okay, I have mirrored this build on the other side, and now to make it completely spawn proof before we build the next layer on top, place a full block on each of this redstone dust here. Also do it all the way around here, just in case, and there. Alright. The next layer is really easy to start. This is the spawning pad here. This farm is designed to also handle Enderman, where we need a 3 high gap. That means over here we have now 1, 2, 3, and then here the next spawning pad, also with ice in this case. and then you can simply repeat the process from before and build how many modules you want. You also now see why you should use slabs in this place. If it's a full block here, full block, and it's powered, alright, and in this exact same moment a mob spawns down here, you can see that this piston is not powered from this block up here and doesn't retract. It reduces spawning places, but it will reset the next time a mob spawns here. And it's not a big deal, but it reduces the efficiency. Okay, a few things to say. I built this farm here, the right side first. Those are 15 of such modules times 2, so 30 of these modules, and with that up, this farm produces roughly 15,000 items per hour. I then simply clone the contraption on the other side over here, and this one also produces 15,000 items per hour, and together what I have in my on the Realm server I'm playing, this farm could potentially produce 30,000 items per hour. This is here in the test world at least, but on real life conditions I made some errors with the butt powering, for example, and everything coming together. I roughly get 25,000 items per hour. So that is to keep in mind. If you want this to be remotely efficient, you need at least 15 of such modules, preferably 30. Then you have somewhat decent rates if the area is prepared. That means I built this on top of the deep ocean, so no caves would be loaded where monsters can spawn if AFK are up on top, and I would suggest doing something similar. Also, this farm relies on other mobs to trigger the tripwire if it's a spider that spawns, or a baby zombie, something like this. You can see here, if a spider spawns here, it is not high enough to trigger the tripwire, but it will be pushed off as soon as another mob spawns on the spawning pad. On that note, it would be more efficient if you build the spawning pad wider than 10 by 2. I originally had a 2 by 20 line, and you can potentially go even further out. That doesn't really matter much. You can you have 2 pieces of dust here, and a redstone dust travels 15 blocks wide, so that is roughly 12 blocks you can power without a repeater. And if you mirror the clock you have over here, right next here, you can potentially have a 2 by 24 spawning pad, what would increase the efficiency quite a lot, because also the whole row of pistons would be triggered as soon as anything spawns here that is high enough, and therefore all the spiders would be pushed off faster, and you also have more spawning spaces. But it is a ridiculous amount of lag that causes this, especially if the clock is running and the spider fights the farm. Sometimes they fight this, they get pushed off, they cling on the edge of the spawning pad, climb back up again and activate the tripwire again, and it causes a tremendous amount of lag. And this 10 wide by 2 thick spawning pad per clock is the compromise I came up with, that has decent enough weights and less lag as possible. Alright. So guys, keep in mind to have at least a 50 block deep drop chute to guarantee that most, if not all monsters die from the fall damage. This drop here is a bit too low. Sometimes the Enderman poured out and feather falling monsters of course will survive then as well. So 50 blocks should be sufficient. And that's it from my side out. I wish you guys the best of luck building this and fun with all the TNT and gunpowder and bone meal you get from this farm. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.